Tonight on News 5 Live, State Bank goes into receivership amid a multi-million-dollar suit against the government of Belize. PM Briceño will meet with stevedores on Monday. The issue of the sugar money remains a sticking point. Jared Rangay finally pleads guilty to the murder of his family, and a new Belize City Council is sworn in amid the tragic loss of the city administrator. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
Tell me, what about I want today?
I recently do a Red Gal video. I get more views than Harriet. And you know one person had the nerve to post that I not even a Red Gal? I mean, like, what that mean anyway?
Well, here what about me? Every time I go buy meat pie, and I go, so, nothing in there. Nothing.
So this is my issue. I over 18. I don't want no one artist. And you could believe my man still expect me for wash dishes? I don't got time for that. I don't prefer dishes. Yes.
And you, sir?
Well, I don't really got their kind of problems, you know. Ever since I switched to DJ and signed up for my unlimited postpaid plan, life stress-free. Nothing bother me or my connection no more.
Watch The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings of the First Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. exclusively on Channel 5 Belize. The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings every Sunday at 8 a.m. on Channel 5 Belize.
Earn V-Bucks and get a chance to win a $10,000 homecation with Benny's. Quality and savings.
My name is Denise Castillo. I'm a singer, writer, performer. like experiment with different music, but primarily reggae dancehall with a little hint of R&B. I was contacted. I was told about the program if I would be interested. I thought it was something very intriguing and something I should jump on, especially at the moment I was in my career. One of the benefits I would say would be becoming more marketable in the sense of creating a logo, and my logo is peace sign. So I really like that we dived into that, and as well we put some adjectives to describe what my whole vibe as an artist is. In my merch, I started to do the merch with the program, so that was definitely something that has directly impacted me during the whole program.
So the doctor has given me 5 days off. How do I get paid from Social Security? This is how Social Security works for sickness benefits. First, you must check that you qualify. You must be employed when you got sick. Have made 50 paid contributions. Have made 5 paid contributions within 13 weeks immediately before getting sick. To ensure that your processing goes smoothly, be sure to complete and submit your claim form within 14 days of the first day of illness. Thanks, I get it now.
Visit our website or contact any of our offices to have someone assist you. Also, be sure to visit our Facebook page and give us a like to stay informed. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
This newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.
Good evening. Welcome to News 5 Live for Friday, March 15th. I am Annalyn Apolonio. Ground was officially broken for the commencement of the Stake Bank Tourism Development Project back in 2018, and work got underway for the mega cruise facility shortly thereafter. But tonight, after investing north of $100 million, Port Coral, a Michael Feinstein initiative, has gone into receivership. Earlier today, News 5 confirmed that a receiver had been appointed for the project during a meeting on Thursday. That individual is Marlo Neal. The receivership is expected to last for a period of between 6 to 9 months, with a view to complete the construction of piers that would allow for cruise ships to berth at Stake Bank. But there is also a multi-million-dollar claim that had been brought against the Briceño administration prior to Stake Bank going into receivership. Earlier today, we caught up with Prime Minister John Briceño, who spoke briefly on the matter, as well as the status of a piece of legislation that was to have been introduced in place of the definitive agreement.
When it comes to the issue of the receivership, that's a matter for the bank, and I'm sure that they may have their reasons why is it that they believe that they have to put the Stake Bank project on receivership. But as we know that the main players behind the Stake Bank project decided to sue the government. From what I'm told, there's really no case. So I can't understand why is it that you'd want to, or they would want to sue the government.
What do you believe this means for the cruise sector? Will Belize ever see a berthing port?
I do believe that we will. As we said, there are 3 areas. There's Stake Bank, there's Portico, and also now there's Port of Belize. And so all of that is still remaining on play. And we will see which is the one that will be able to develop into a cruise port that can meet not only the needs for today, but also for 10, 20 years from today.
This is the largest receivership, I believe, in Belize's banking history. Do you think it will affect the banking sector, though?
No, it will not. The central bank has been very clear, and also so has Atlantic Bank. They have been I'm very clear from day one that they're going to ensure that they protect every single cent of the depositors. So, no, I do not expect it to be a problem.
PM, where are we with the legislation that's forthcoming in respect of cruise tourism development in this country?
Well, nowhere. Until we know where we're going, it does not make sense to pass this piece of legislation. We're pretty much ready, but depending on which direction we'll go, then we may need to make some adjustments to that piece of legislation. So that is why we're holding on to it, and we will deal with it when the time is appropriate.
Notwithstanding that you say the claimants don't have a case, has the government engaged with them? Have you met with them?
No, I have not met with them, but Mr. Finstein did call me on Wednesday wanting to have a meeting, so I hope to meet with him next week.
Prime Minister John Briceño is scheduled to meet with the Christian Workers Union on Monday to discuss the tumultuous state of affairs between the Port of Belize and the stevedores. As reported earlier this week, employees of PBL effected a work-to-rule after repeatedly demanding that government compensate them for sugar redundancies after the shipment of bulk sugar was relocated to Big Creek a few years ago. But GOB remains resolute in its position, and today PM Briceño echoed the sentiment that no one lost their job as a result of the transfer. Here's what he had to say ahead of Monday's meeting.
I've had several meetings with the stevedores, and every time we meet, we come with an agreement, but it seems that when they leave the meeting, they come up with other issues. I said to them from the beginning, let's not talk about sugar, or the sugar money. I said, you have your position, we have our position, that there is no claim for no kind of redundancy there. Nobody got fired, so there's no sugar money. But as a government, we're prepared to be able to address many of the pending issues between the stevedores and the Port of Belize, so that we can modernize the port. The way the port has been running for the past 10, 15, 20 years it's not in the interest of the port nor the interest of the country. And I've been explaining to the stevedores, now we have competition. There's more than one port. So when you decide that you don't want to discharge a ship, the ship would either A, go back to their home country, quite likely the United States, or they go down south to discharge their containers. That's what happened with sugar. So when they behave the way they do, they decide not to offload, they are shooting themselves in the foot. We need to be able to find a common ground where we both, stevedores, Port of Belize and the government of Belize, that we want to find how we could move this forward, how we could modernize, and at the same time to protect their interests. I understand that, and we want to do that. That is why the government made an offer of $1.5 million to say, listen, let's stop fighting about everything. Let's come up with the new working practices. Can't work more than 15 hours, and when you finish working at 15 hours, a new gang finishes if the ship is not finished offloading. Let's look at the number of gangs. Port wanted to bring it down to 12, there's 14, and stevedore said they would not accept it. I said, okay, in the CBA that you have already signed, you're talking about 13, okay, let's do it 13. So we've agreed to that. So most of the things we've agreed, they're just small little things.
In the north, the Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association has also issued a release in respect of the proposed Commission of Inquiry into the operations at the Belize Sugar Industries Limited. While government has been advised not to proceed with the probe, the BSCFA has expressed its strong opposition to that recommendation and has gone on to criticize the Briceño administration. The Prime Minister told reporters, earlier today, that he would waste his time responding to the BSCFA's criticism.
I will not waste my time in answering the BSCFA. I think I'm doing what I believe is in the interest of the industry and in the interest of Belize. We have 3 other associations that are working with the sugar mill. They're not the only ones, so let's start off with that. I have said to them that there has to be proper consultations. There were not proper consultations. The way the Commission of Inquiry, the terms of reference, the way it was set out, it was a terms of reference to the BSCFA. So I am meeting with the minister on Monday, And on Monday, we're going to finalize the terms, and then we're going to proceed. But if we were to proceed the way they want us to proceed, we will be wasting our time because we will be taken to court, and the court is going to rule against us. We are not going to appeal just because they asked us to appeal. We have to appeal if there is a case, and it seems that there is not a case to appeal. I'm not going to waste the monies, the monies of the people's monies. As long as I know in my conscience that what I'm doing is the correct thing, I don't care what anybody says. It's important for us to work. The farmers of this country in the north know the work that we're doing. They gave us already an overwhelming mandate in Orange Rocktown and in Corozaltown. There are several thousands of farmers living in Orange Rocktown and Corozal. They did not vote against us. They voted for us because they are seeing the work that we are doing.
Coming up, man pleads guilty to murdering his family.
Hello, friends. I'm Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, by faith, Moses, when he was born, was hid 3 months of his parents because they saw he was a proper child, and they were not afraid of the king's commandment. Moses, as all children, at the time of his birth, was born under the sentence of death with little chance of survival. However, he had a godly mother who saw what only a mother could have seen. She saw in him a proper child and made a small waterproof basket and placed him in it and pushed it out into the Nile River, where he was soon discovered and rescued by Pharaoh's daughter. The world has been blessed by these kinds of mothers who refuse to give up when things look so bad. That was a story also of Willie the shoemaker. He was born prematurely on a cold morning to a farming family in a West Texas town. Shortly after his birth, the doctor announced to the family that he would not live through the night. Not to be undone, the grandmother placed the tiny baby in a shoebox and then into a warm oven. To the doctor's amazement, he lived, and he grew to become one of the world's most famous athletes and jockeys, Willie the shoemaker. Faith in God can make a difference in your life if you will but trust Him. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
Discover a shopping experience like no other at the V Department Store. They carry a vast array of products at unbeatable prices. Elevate your shopping journey with affordability, diversity, and accessibility at The V. Conveniently located at 1745 Coney Drive in Belize City.
I'm David Humes. This is Vanessa Humes. We own Ladyville Cool Spot. Belize Bank save us a lot of time. Working with them, we can keep track exactly what we spend. We recommend Belize Bank 100% because we don't have to go to stand up in line, and we can check on our account right from our house. Working with Belize Bank is the best.
The PUP squandered $50 million from Tourism Board, millions more from Taiwanese grant, and from government's own consolidated fund to secure a municipal election victory. But now, they cannot cough up the measly $1.5 million they promised the stevedores as an ex gratia payment.
Come on, man, they don't mean business. They don't mean business.
And the PUP mouth from the south side, who once declared, "Run the money, my boy," is now stuttering and making excuses for his prime minister.
Things are lost in translation, and the devil is always in the details.
Nothing is lost in any translation. What part of run the stevedores' money don't they understand?
Uh-oh, what are those?
Germs!
That's right, they're germs, and they love to spread.
Uh-oh!
And how do they spread?
Hands.
Germs can spread everywhere from hands. And from hands, food, toys, other hands, and faces.
Yuck!
Germs make people sick. And that's why it's important to
Wash hands. Hooray!
It's important to wash your hands, so follow these steps to do it right.
1,
Turn on the water and wet your hands.
2,
Use soap to lather your hands and scrub.
3,
Rinse your hands completely.
4,
Now that your hands are clean, use a paper towel to touch the handle and turn off the water.
5.
Dry your hands with a paper towel.
Hooray!
Follow these steps every time and you'll keep germs away. So remember, the best way to fight germs is to
Wash hands.
LA City, get ready for basketball. It's gonna be the 3-time champions versus the 3-time champions. And who will be the 4th champion for this year? On March 16th, Saturday night inside the Belize Civic Center. Hurricane season at June to November, but here we go on. It's the shark season. Gates open at 7 p.m. and games start at 9 p.m. sharp at the Belize Civic Center. This Saturday, March 16th, bring out the entire family. Come witness the Tiger Sharks mash up the Hurricane inside the Belize Civic Center. Sponsors include
He murdered his mother, sister, and stepfather in November 2012, and since then has tried everything to stall the case by changing several attorneys, requesting 2 sentence indications, and frustrated a trial judge to the point of recusing himself from the case. But today, 36-year-old Jared Rangai opted not to stand trial and instead entered a guilty plea via a teleconference session from the Belize Central Prison. It was an emotional morning and a packed courtroom before High Court Justice Nigel Pilgrim. News 5's Marian Ali was there and filed this report.
Jared Rangai, who had for many years tried to usurp the justice system by firing his attorneys to force adjournments, has finally decided not to let his court matter languish any longer by pleading guilty instead of going to a trial. Relatives of the 3 deceased persons sobbed as Rangai admitted to the court that he murdered his mother, Karen Skeen, his sister, Tina Skeen, and his stepfather, Robert Veos, as they slept inside their home in Ladyville. In responding to questions posed by High Court Judge Nigel Pilgrim, Rangai told the court that he indeed murdered his 3 family members and that he did so without provocation. He said that he was admitting to the triple murder without being coerced by anyone to do so, and that he was pleading guilty because he is guilty of the crime. When the judge asked the Director of Public Prosecutions, Sherilyn Vidal, who sat in for Crown Counsel Reese Catus, to read the details of the 3 murders, Rangai told the court that it wasn't necessary because he was admitting to willfully killing his family. The facts were read anyway, in order that he could agree to the sequence of events and admit guilt. DPP Vidal told reporters that she expected today's outcome.
I think that we anticipated, because of the way the discussions were going, that we would have reached this point.
And this came after many, many years of adjournments and change of attorneys and a previous sentence indication and even a judge recusing himself.
Yes, I imagine that the prisoner, we can call him now, would have taken a very long time to come to terms with what the sentence might look like if he pleaded guilty to 3 counts of murder. Whatever operated on his mind in recent months that led him to this point.
This point for the family was also one that they had waited almost 12 years to see. While they were still very shaken, Karen Skeen's brother, Rene Skeen, told reporters that they were consoled by his nephew's guilty plea.
We like to thank God. The most important thing, we got justice. And the emotions, you can't explain it. It's been over 11 years we've been waiting for this. And the day have finally come. We will never get full justice. 3 people are dead. But for him being pleaded guilty, it kind of helped a little bit. The pain kind of, we can kind of deal with it a little bit better now.
Skeen said the guilty plea saved the family a lot more heartaches than if there had been a trial.
The family wouldn't have to go relive what happened 11 years ago. I mean, we would have to be in court seeing guns, knives, bloody clothes, everything. We believe in the system. We've been doing interviews with you guys for years and years. We have family members coming from the U.S. just for court every 6, 8 months, 9 months. So after trying to manipulate the system for so long, justice caught up with him. Although we would like to see no parole, at the end of the day, like I said, for the family, we got what we were requesting. For him to say, look, I'm guilty. We used to say that, you guys interviewed us and we said, you guys asked, can we forgive him? I used to say no, but now you know what? I think I can.
Rangai's decision came after he had gotten a sentence indication from Justice Pilgrim on March 1st. In that sentence indication, Justice Pilgrim informed Rangai that if he entered a guilty plea, he could get 3 life sentences without the possibility of parole until after 40 years, minus the 11 years that he has served behind bars. Vidal said the guilty plea has saved considerable time because of what the process would have entailed.
There were quite a number of witnesses who would have had to have been called. There would have been voir dires in relation to the statement that would have been given, admissions that were made. So it did save the court some time, but of course this matter has been before the court for a very long time.
Renee Skeen says that moving on now will be a bit easier for the survivors.
This has taken a toll on all of you. We heard the sobs in the courtroom. How are you all coping now?
Man, today the family decided to meet, no matter what would have happened today, for a prayer meeting. It's going to be a good prayer meeting today. We're going to cope better now.
Reporting for News 5, I'm Marian Ali.
Justice Pilgrim has ordered that a psychiatric evaluation be conducted on Rangai and that the Belize Central Prison present a report on him. As the DPP pointed out, the sentence indication is not the actual sentence. Rangai's attorney, Senior Counsel Godfrey Smith, has until April 22nd to submit a mitigation plea in writing, and the court was adjourned until May 13th. This week, we reported on the matter involving Aaron Wilson, who was detained for almost a day on grounds that he was boisterous towards a police officer when he confronted her at the police station in Ladyville. As it turned out, the police officer had hung up the phone on Wilson, and he went to the station to tell her about it. Well, Wilson was held for about 22 hours, and following that, Crown Counsel Reese Cattouse fired off a letter to the Commissioner of Police, Chester Williams, in which he criticized the police for what he felt was frequent violation of the human rights of persons who are detained. The matter did not sit well with Williams or the Minister of Home Affairs, Karim Musa, who both thought it was unfortunate that Cattouse had that to say. Today, the Director of Public Prosecution, Cheryl Lynn Vidal, told reporters that it is not what Cattouse said that she had a problem with, but the way he went about doing it.
Whenever a file is being advised on and there has been any impropriety on the part of the police, the council would write about it in their memoranda. Perhaps this is the first time it has been sent to the media.
Yes. Okay, so this is standard practice for the Crown Counsel to engage the Commissioner in this manner?
I don't think the Commissioner directly, but anytime a file is sent to the office and there is some evidence of impropriety on the part of the police, then the council will speak on it. I do not believe that council has in the past written directly to the commissioner in that manner, but it is not as though the DPP's office is in the habit of endorsing police impropriety.
Do you endorse the fact that Crown Counsel Catus decided, you know what, this is a matter that I should, and then he took it upon himself to write to the Commissioner of Police?
No, that part of it is not endorsed.
On Thursday, March 14th, sometime around 9:15 p.m., police received reports of a shooting outside of the Punta Gorda Sports Auditorium. Officers visited the area and encountered Police Constable Feliz Fernandez attached to the Toledo formation. PC Fernandez reported that he, along with his common-law wife, went to watch a basketball game. According to Fernandez, they sat on the bleachers, and while later they were harassed by one Richard Valerio, who is his common-law's ex-partner, who was shouting profanities to them, including saying, quote, "Somebody will die tonight," end quote. Fernandez went on to say that to avoid a confrontation, they moved to another area. However, they were accosted by Valerio, who continued with his profanities. Fernandez further stated that he decided to leave and asked a fellow officer to escort him to his vehicle. Fernandez claimed that Valerio later inflicted damage to his car, which was parked outside of the auditorium, by shattering the windshield with rocks. The report further states that PC Fernandez ordered Richard Valerio to drop the rock. That is when Richard Valerio threw a rock in PC Fernandez's direction but missed. Fernandez then claims that fearing for his life, he drew his licensed 9mm pistol and fired a single shot in Valerio's direction. Valerio then ran inside the complex area and was then immediately rushed by police to the Punta Gorda Hospital for medical treatment for injuries to his lower back. We spoke with the sister of the victim, who wishes to remain unnamed. She stated that contrary to Fernandez's account, her brother had not approached or interacted with the officer. According to her, her brother had been the victim of multiple incidents of harassment from the officer and had even been assaulted previously inside his home. Accusations are that the dispute ignited over a shared romantic partner and that her brother had been on the receiving end of injustice for several months now. Commissioner of Police has ordered an internal investigation concurrent with the criminal investigation into this incident. An update will be provided at the end of the investigation. The firearm was retrieved for ballistic testing. The General Legal Counsel has decided, following a complaint brought against a Belizean attorney by another retired attorney of New Zealand, that lawyer Jinu Young had alleged that attorney-at-law Brian Neal failed to update Mr. Young on the status of a matter for which Neal was retained in March 2023. In that case, Young was hired to act against a tenant of Young's who had owed rent arrears. The council found that while Neal had adequate time to provide written evidence in response to the allegation to the council, when the complaint was served on him, he didn't do so. The council dealt with the matter on February 9th, and after listening to both sides, found that Neal had breached, among others, Rule 28, 1, which stipulates that an attorney must deal with their client's business as expeditiously as possible and must provide their clients with full information on the progress of the client's business. The council also found that in correspondence from Neal, he did not indicate that he would not deal with the matter for Young, who had paid him $5,000 to deal with the matter for him. Neal, however, has refunded Young the money in full and has also offered to help find an attorney who would be able to take on the job. After the break, a third term for Mayor Wagner and the Belize City Council. But first, here's the weather update with data from the National Meteorological Service.
Happy Women's Day to everyone. Annually, March 8th, International Women's Day, is observed globally in recognition of the achievements of women across social, economic, cultural, and political arenas. We use this time to reflect on our progress made, to call for change, and to celebrate acts of courage and determination by ordinary women who have played an extraordinary role in the history of our communities and our beloved country, Belize. International Women's Day has been observed since the early 1900s, and in Belize we utilize this entire month of March to not only celebrate, but educate, inform, dialogue with women from all areas of Belizean society. This helps us to accomplish the necessary changes that need to be made in our programs, projects, and laws. The theme for this year's Women's Month is Inspire Inclusion, Count Her In. This means that when we inspire others to understand and value women's inclusion, we forge a better world. And when women ourselves are inspired to be included, there is a sense of belonging, relevance, and empowerment. Women must always be counted in. Over the past year, government has made significant changes to improve the women's agenda. There have been changes in legislation, such as the Families and Children's Act, as well as the strengthening of the proposed anti-sexual harassment legislation. The National Women's Commission is now a statutory body, giving it the legal mandate of advocating, promoting, monitoring, and reporting on gender issues in Belize. Empowering women is a big responsibility, but it is also vital for gender equality. Furthermore, society benefits when women are treated with dignity and respect. Women are undoubtedly turning the world's attention on ourselves. It may have been previously impossible, but it is now doable, and we are doing so now. Women are achieving incredible heights and breaking glass ceilings. For example, the increases in women leadership positions and women as proprietors of small, medium, and micro enterprises. Women are joining every field and succeeding in all of them, demonstrating our abilities. But there is still a long way to go. So let us join hands in removing the barriers of negativity and making sure that women's participation will strengthen our society in every way. I want to wish everyone, all Belizeans, especially our beautiful women, a happy Women's Month to all.
This plan, I can't leave this plan. Smart Belize.
Hey there, smart thinkers. We're turbocharging your mobile experience with Smart's powered up postpaid plans. Imagine a world where your data speeds flows faster than ever. Well, guess what? We've cranked up the dial and unleashed the postpaid power of Smart's lightning fast LTE data on all our postpaid plans. That's right, no speed bumps, more data. It's like having a limitless highway of data speed at your fingertips. Whether you're a lone ranger with an individual plan or a squad rolling with a group plan, everyone gets to surf, stream, and share at enhanced full high-quality speed. Switch to Smart's powered up postpaid plans today and ride the wave of postpaid power. Visit any Smart showroom or smart-bz.com for details and make your mobile experience smarter and faster. Smart, bringing people together.
I know I can't leave this plan. I can't leave this plan.
Do you know how to choose the best engine oil for your car? We believe the best engine oil should provide optimal performance and ultimate protection for longer. For Quartz engine oil, our engineers have formulated age resistance technology, also known as ART. It's a breakthrough innovation. The interaction between oil molecules is increased, creating a super-resistant molecular structure. So whatever the conditions, it helps to prevent the lubricant protective film from breaking. Any engine is exposed to harsh conditions: extreme temperature and pressure, friction, sludge accumulation. The molecular structure of quartz with ART stays strong to perfectly lubricate and protect engine parts in all conditions. And the results are outstanding. Protection against sludge buildup improved by 18%. Protection against mechanical wear improved by 74%. Thanks to quartz with ART, save on maintenance and preserve your engine's power. So next time you wonder which engine oil to use, choose performance and protection that lasts longer. Quartz with age resistance technology. Keep your engine younger for longer.
This morning, a new Belize City Council led by Mayor Bernard Wagner was sworn in for another 3-year term at City Hall. The event was bittersweet as the People's United Party and the Belize City Council continues to mourn the loss of City Administrator Stephanie Lindo. Earlier today, the PUP, as well as 10 councillors and Mayor Wagner, gathered at the Caribbean Motors showroom for the swearing-in ceremony. News 5's Isani Cayetano reports.
I, Bernard Wagner, being duly elected as a member of the Belize City Council, do solemnly swear that I shall at all times, to the best of my ability, exercise the powers and perform the duties of my office in the best interests of the residents of Belize City, in accordance with the Constitution, laws and regulations of Belize and of Belize City. So help me God.
The symbolic transition of power from one administration to another is a significant event in local government. The swearing-in ceremony marks the official transfer of control and influence from the outgoing Belize City Council to the members who are newly elected. This morning, a new municipal government led by returning Mayor Bernard Wagner swore an oath of office.
This third consecutive swearing-in as mayor is an immeasurable honor. My gratitude and my promise to remain a faithful mayor are equally overpowering. At this moment, our team is fueled by a surge of triumph and overwhelming public support. Yet, our hearts ache at the loss of our beloved city administrator, Mrs. Stephanie Lindo. We have proven time and time again that we are capable of overcoming adversity, and we remain steadfast in our commitment to serving the residents of Belize City. Together, we will persevere once again, and we will continue to make strides towards a brighter future for our community, keeping her legacy alive every step of the way.
Taking the oath of office gives legal legitimacy to the elected officials. It also confirms their authority to make decisions, enact laws, and represent the community.
Today, we are swearing in our Belize City Council for the term 2024 to 2027. Election, campaign, those times are over. It is time to get to work. And our team, the team you see assembled here, is a fusion of so many talented individuals. As chairman, I am proud of all of you, and I thank you and your families for the sacrifices that you have made and for the sacrifices that you still need to make. Today, we have 3 Peters, Mayor, Alan, and Javier. Somewhere, somehow, Javier is always there, isn't he? You can't put down gold dust, right? So we have the 3 Peters, Mayor, Alan, and Javier. We have the repeaters, Kaya, Stefan, and Edmond. And we have the new seaters. Malcolm, Dorian, Elud, Evan, and Sherwin. Congratulations and a big round of applause for all of them.
The order of business upon returning to City Hall next week is to tackle the existing drainage situation across the old capital. Mayor Wagner and his team are committed to completing these essential projects.
The biggest projects are the drains. That has been the call on the streets in Belize City, that people want the drains them to be really shaped up, maintained, have them connected to the canals and the canals to the river to the sea. If we can get that sort of drainage done, we would be in a much better position, given that in the next 3 to 4 months we face the hurricane season. So that will be priority number one, to really get into drains maintenance.
By reciting the oath, officials publicly commit to fulfilling their duties and responsibilities. It serves as a reminder of their obligation to serve the public interest. The swearing in is a crucial moment that establishes the foundation for effective governance and public service.
Now we could celebrate this huge victory, a historic victory by numbers probably hardly ever seen in the political scene. And everybody would love, any politician would love to have that kind of affirmation of support from your voters. But with that kind of margin of support, of love, comes great responsibility. For those that get a lot is expected from them. That means that people are going to stop you in the streets, and they're going to talk to you about their street, or they're going to talk to you about the garbage, or about some club they make too much noise, or the drain or the work, or the park needs to fix. And it's so easy to say, well, you know what, right on an office hours.
Today brought together community members, leaders, and stakeholders, and fostered a sense of unity and shared purpose. It also provides insight into CITCO's intended policies and initiatives. Reporting for News 5, I am Isana Cayetano.
A vacancy is being advertised for the highest position at BTL. That's for a new Chief Executive Officer. In today's edition of the Amandala newspaper, a full-page ad was published inviting interested candidates to apply for the post. This means that CEO Ivan Tesacum, who assumed the post 5 years ago, is stepping down. Tesacum has been with the telecoms provider for over 20 years and has distinguished himself in leadership with financial and operation experience in Belize and the United States. Tesacum was promoted to CEO in 2019 after serving as Chief Financial Officer since 2012. It is deja vu for fans of the Belize Elite Basketball League. The Semi-Pro Basketball League has once again found itself in the throes of another controversy. The Orange Walk Running Rebels have withdrawn from the 2024 BBL season. The organization wrote to the league commissioner on Wednesday announcing its withdrawal. The Running Rebels, a team that is currently standing in 6th place for this season, provided a list of 7 reasons for its withdrawal. Their letter took shots at team owners, officials, and the league commissioner, Glenn Gill. The team's ownership contends that there are major deficiencies in the league and called on Commissioner Gill to resign from his post. With the Running Rebels now out of the 2024 season, only 6 teams remain. And Gill says he has nowhere to go because he is backed by the confidence of all remaining team owners. We spoke with him today.
The first unfortunate situation occurred when there was supposed to be a deal between a company and the league, and the owners voted against it. I think that's where everything started to go downhill. From there, the signing of this player, the non-attendance of meetings, the expression to the other owners that they're out. Like in any organization, there will be some turmoil, whether it's self-imposed or not. But you would imagine that as owners of a company, you would sit with your teammates, you would sit with your other members and discuss whatever problem there is and come to a solution that would satisfy everybody.
Is it your view then that Orange Walk, Running Rebels management was reluctant to sit down and have a rational discussion over the concerns or the issues that they raised?
Definitely so.
How does the league recover from this, and do you see this affecting the remainder of the season?
As I said, when this whole thing started to explode, I was taken aback, thinking that I was helping a situation and it turned into something that I didn't expect it to turn into any at all. But yes, this is a black eye for the league. We definitely didn't expect this, and the only thing we can do from here is pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and try.
Among the 7 reasons that the Orange Walk Running Rebels gave for its withdrawal, the most contentious surrounds the signing of Jeremiah Toney, an American basketball athlete. Toney was initially the Belmopan Trojans roster. According to the Running Rebels, they were notified that Toney wanted out of the Trojans, claiming a breach of contract. Their release notes that the Running Rebels had their sights set on signing Toney after confirming with Commissioner Gill that he was not in possession of a contract between the player and the Belmopan Trojans as per the league's rules. The release goes on to say that Commissioner Gill committed to securing a release from the Trojans for Toney and advised the Running Rebels that they could proceed with signing him and submitting the contract. The Rebels says Commissioner Gill made the matter worse when he later suspended Toney for a year for signing 2 contracts. This came after the Running Rebels placed Toney on their roster for a game on March 9th.
I asked Mr. Manzanero if I can have a copy of his contract with this young man, and he sent it for me. The following day, I went to Belmopan. I picked up Mr. Toney by his apartment. I asked him if we can go over to the Bullfrog to have a discussion. We did. We were there for 2.5 hours, more or less. He spoke for the first half hour to 45 minutes. And when he was finished, I said, can I ask you some questions, Mr. Toney? And he said, yeah, sure. The first question I asked him, is there any other team owners talking to you about going to their team? And the reason I asked that question, because rumors started coming to me. His immediate answer was one word, no. I said, okay, Mr. Toney, can I ask you another question? He said, go ahead. Do you have a contract, a signed contract with Trojans? He said, yes, I have one, but I can't. I said, can I see it? He said, I can't produce it for you right now because it was lost in my phone, which fell in the water in Kikaka by the split, and so I can't. Unless I get the phone, I can call US, I can get off my cloud, and I can let you have it. I said, so can you do that for me as quickly as you can? He said, so I pulled out my phone and I asked him, do you recognize this document? He said, yeah, it seems like. I said, is that your signature? He said, yes. I said, do you know the name, the person who signed as witness? He said, yes, that's my agent. I said, okay, well, I know Mr. Manzanero's signature because I've been around him since he was a student at Compre. And he said, but that's not the contract that I ended up with. So I told him, okay, could you kindly let me have that as quickly as possible? So I was very shocked when actually even before the game happened on that Friday, I called both Aldo and I called Mr. Trigab Jr. And I said, guys, please don't play these players. Remember that guy is not released as yet. When Mr. Gab called me and told me that he will send in a document, he asked me if a contract was lodged with the league. I told him I have a contract in my possession that I spoke to the player about last night. I showed him the contract. He said, but was it lodged? I said, I'm not a lawyer, so I can't say whether you can say it was lodged or not, but I have it in my possession. He knew all of this. In fact, even before the game, I was asking him, they can work out between the two of them, because if the team didn't want to keep the young man and he wanted to play with them, of course, that would be a good deal as far as I'm concerned.
The Belize Postal Service has modernized its system and is catching up with delivery services like Amazon. Customers now have more control over their packages. They can see when their items are on their way from the post office and when it has been picked up by the receiver. There is also an option for all queries to be answered through an AI chatbot called Edith. It's an update that has been long in the making. News 5's Paul Lopez reports.
The Belize Postal Services has gone digital. Customers can now track their items and receive real-time updates and notifications on the status of their packages.
What will happen is when an item comes into the post office, the customer is, the item is given a barcode. The individual then comes to the app whereby it's entered into the app, whereby the sender name, address, phone number, which is very important. The phone number is very important. Is then inputted into the system. Once that is completed, both the sender and the receiver is going to get a text with a link telling them exactly everything about their package, the cost, the destination, expected time of arrival, all that information is there.
Your items will then be handed over to the drivers that are tasked with transporting these packages across the country. At every step of the process, the packages scan to provide updates to customers on the status of their deliveries.
So they know when the package left. For example, St. Answer to Belize today, they brought the package 9 a.m. At 1 p.m., the package is moving. The customer knows that package left at 1 p.m. If by 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the package is in Belize today, they know that it's ready to be picked up. So they have enough information so they could schedule in a stop at the post office at any time because they know exactly when it's there.
The Belize Postal Services is also able to deliver packages directly to the homes of their customers with the address provided at the office. Marsha Price, the Postmaster General, says the digitization of their services has been long in the making. She explained that the delay in rolling out the upgrades was due to the lack of necessary financial resources.
It allows us to provide what the customers were asking for. People want to see where their packages are, so that allows us to at least bridge some gap in this digital divide, like I've mentioned earlier. Financing was the aspect. Now we have the support of our ministry that is allowing us or financing us to have these sort of applications that the customers have been requesting for years. So that is something that is, although it's available now, it's all our processes have been manual. So this is one of them. We can track internationally, but nothing domestically. So this helps our customers, and it will pull more customers to us. So it's something that we so desire.
Price says the Belize Postal Services anticipates an increase in its revenue with the new level of visibility it is providing to customers.
We have the most affordable prices, and we provide same-day delivery, so we are doing more for our customers. We provide that culture of excellence, giving that our customers that best end-to-end experience. So affordable pricing, being able to track your packages.
Zaina Schnar, the postal supervisor at the post office's express department, explained that customers will no longer be required to spend time in long lines at the post office during drop-offs.
Let's say you have 20 packages and stand in a line and wait for a receipt. You could just drop off those packages because now with this system, you'll automatically get a text as the sender, and the receiver will also receive a message, and with real-time tracking telling you, okay, you posted it in Belize City, and let's say you're sending it to San Pedro, right? You will get a message saying, okay, you posted it, the time we process it, the time it leaves the office, when San Pedro receives it, and when it is ready for delivery or pickup.
Now, what information do they have to provide when they drop off?
Just as you address a regular letter. The sender's information, which includes the name, the address, whatever district, and a phone number. And the same thing for the receiver's information, the same thing, just like how you address a regular letter.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
When we return, Gospel Expo is back in Belize.
Unwrap the joy of crystal clear picture and sound from Aiwa, the brand that offers you affordability and exceptional quality. Aiwa has a wide range of exceptional products to choose from, such as TVs, speakers, headphones, home appliances, and much more at affordable prices that won't break the bank. Enhance your audio-visual entertainment experience with Aiwa, and for your convenience, parts are readily available in country for hassle-free maintenance. You can find Aiwa products at your local electronics store countrywide. Choose Aiwa, the best in home entertainment and household appliances.
I will tell them, say, hey yo, seguimos avanzando. Watch out now.
therefore hereby declare the winner of the San Pedro elections as the PUPC.
Everybody know one in unison a champion. Mr. Ronna a champion, Marina a champion, Janya a champion, Ernesto a champion, Adali a champion, Wally a champion, Jose a champion, POP a champion. In a San Pedro, so we need a real champion.
I want to thank each and every one of you. This victory is for you.
Everybody know one in unison a champion. UDP bout to get sanction.
Hi, my name is Lincoln Powers and I work at UMall. 100% I will recommend Belize Bank mobile banking to everyone because it saves time, money and gas price because gas price is high right now. Belize Bank mobile banking just make life easier.
I'm connected. Yo.
I'm connected.
We're connected.
Create the perfect broadband bundle that fits your style with Smart Connect. With the Junior Bundle, get 50% off your national calls and up to 6 gigabytes of data at no extra cost. Get postpaid added for an additional cost of only $25 with the Prime Bundle. Stay connected with unlimited smart-to-smart calls plus 6,300 megabytes of data and free international minutes. For the family, pay $28.13 more and get the Binge Watchers bundle with Netflix. This bundle gives you 4 profiles with unlimited streaming on multiple devices. Visit a showroom near you to sign up and personalize your own bundle combination with Smart Connect. Smart, bringing people together.
The Belize Gospel Expo is back in town for 2024. The annual 2-day event is held in Roaring Creek to foster a safe environment for wholesome socialization in the community. We spoke with founder Richard Smith, who told us what the event entailed. News 5's Brittany Gordon reports.
Gospel Expo is a multi-purpose. One, we were looking for opportunity to do something on the agriculture and trade show ground to change the culture and the atmosphere that was going on there. 2, Gospel Expo have been served as a means for local artists to have a area where they could perform and showcase their talents and gifting. Gospel Expo have also been a place where churches from all districts can come together and to have a general day of just praising God in a clean, healthy atmosphere.
The concert will be held on Saturday and will be followed by a United Church service on Sunday. This year, 3 international artists will be featured in the event: Pregoneros del Reino, Jason Mighty, and Lionel Tape, as well as local Belizean band Principes del Rey.
So last year for Gospel Expo, we were introduced to Mr. Richards by another artist. He was a guest artist last year, Emran Henry. And so that was our first event when we came last year. I was so blessed. It was my first time in Belize. So I experienced the culture, the fry jack, and all of that. And we were treated well. I mean, I had loved the young people, being around them, and, people that were crazy about worshiping God and everything. I loved the vision. And so, the team just fell in love with Sir Richard and his family and everything. So we were at their disposal. They invited us later on in the year, and we're here this year again.
The event kicks off on March 16th at 10 a.m. with a softball game and will be followed by several workshops in the afternoon for aspiring artists and church leaders, and a barbecue. The concert will begin at 6 p.m. and other performers such as dancers and actors will be featured as well. Smith is encouraging everyone to come and learn and worship as a community, and although it is free of cost, donations are encouraged.
There's some display of booths. There is at 1 o'clock behind the scene with the artists, where we're encouraging Belizean artists to come and ask some questions. These guys will be sharing their story, what bring them from ground zero to where they are, and what are some of the pros and the cons in being a career musician. Because our Belizean just do it as a side piece. but it could be a career if your heart is in the right place. And so there's going to be a workshop for that. There's going to be a workshop for pastors and leaders.
The event seeks to bring the community together for wholesome socializing and inspire young people to get involved in their church and community.
I love any activity that is going to be blessing young people. And what I saw last year was a plethora of young people just filling the grounds that were excited about what was going on, looking for something to do. And I saw the vision that Mr. Richard had, and I saw that it was taking place, and I wanted to be a part of something that is going good.
Brittany Gordon for News 5.
A charity to save the Garifuna language, sponsor a track for the youth in Stan Creek, and uplift commendable elders that is in the community have all been planned for the next 10 days. The Euromay project is hosting a concert, ball, and walkathon, all in the name of community. News 5's Brittany Gordon spoke with the organizers of these events to learn all about it. Here's that story.
The Euromay project was formed in order for us to lift the Garifuna language. What we would like to see is for the Garifuna language to become prevalent in all Garifuna communities again. And so we do things like teaching Garifuna. We encourage the speaking of the language within and among ourselves, and it's something that we're really pushing this year. As a matter of fact, we're launching a campaign to get folks to practice, to speak, and so that we could lift our language. That's the main thrust of the Euromay project.
International Director of the Belize Euromay project, James Cordes, hails from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. He explained the significance of the Garifuna language to him and his country and why he wishes to help preserve it.
This project is important to me because first thing, we have a Garifuna component here, our people's exile. You might have heard it many times. 1797 there was exile to British Honduras, Roatan. And so that's half of our family. Over 2,000 persons made it here. And so I've always known that I have brothers and sisters here. And when we excel in track and field in terms of bringing St. Vincent on the forefront of track and field, I felt like we shouldn't leave Belize behind. So we came here in search of youngsters with talent, and then we've exposed them to the Pen Release as well, from 2018 to now.
Cayetana explained that several events will be hosted over the next 10 days.
Our first concert symposium is going to be at the Civic Center on the 19th, on Tuesday the 19th of March. And then we'll be at Stan Creek Ecumenical College on Wednesday the 20th, Independence High School Thursday the 21st, and Toledo Community College on Friday. We also have our Run for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, which is another fundraiser on Saturday morning in Nangriga, starting at Ecumenical College. And then on Sunday night, we have our ball. Our ball, for the first hour of our ball, we'll be honoring 10 elders from the Nangriga community. That is something that we do every year. And then following that, we have a ceremony, and then we have the Melisiswe brothers will perform.
Special guest performers are the Melisiswe brothers, Seth, Mark, and Zachary, who earned the title of Most Talented Family in America a few years back. Their parents are also from St. Vincent and inspired a desire to contribute to the preservation of the language in them.
I'm most looking forward to, interacting with, the youth of Belize, and just coming to do the symposium, most importantly, and also get to interact with our culture, which is the Garifuna culture, which is here in Belize, because our parents are actually from St. Vincent, and the Garifuna culture and St. Vincent is related. The Garifuna are actually originally from St. Vincent, so being here again, getting to interact with the culture and the language again is really a treat for me.
Cordes is a primary sponsor of the Pen Relay program in Belize and noted a need for track and field facilities in Stan Creek.
We have guys like Usain Bolt, all these guys attended it. Right now we have a female from St. Vincent, her name is Shafika Maloney, who came through my program as well since she was 13 years old. She is now the fastest, the second fastest, second. She'll be the fastest soon. She's the second fastest female in the 800 meter track category. And we also have a young man, Handel Roban, he holds the records, all-time 800 meter high school record at the Pen Release. So this program actually bring children to their perfection when it comes to track and field, and it also provide them with a path, an educational path. We're using sports as an academic and an economic vehicle. And so we have a number of students, over 15 students since 2011 that has graduated with either a bachelor's degree or a master's degree. And we have 7 students currently in college in the United States through the program.
Brittany Gordon for News 5.
Up next in tonight's episode of The Bright Side, how to grow food on Mars.
Let's talk energy. Did you know that saving energy can affect the overall cost of electricity? Practicing energy conservation helps BEL to use mostly low-cost options for sourcing and delivering energy to consumers. We take proactive measures to stabilize the cost of power by monitoring and purchasing the most affordable energy available at any given time. The more energy we save, the more we can meet energy demands using the lowest cost option. Belize Electricity Limited, providing safe, reliable, and sustainable energy solutions.
This plan, I can't leave this plan. Smart Belize!
Hey there, smart thinkers! We're turbocharging your mobile experience with Smart's powered-up postpaid plans. Imagine a world where your data speeds flows faster than ever. Well, guess what? We've cranked up the dial and unleashed the postpaid power of Smart's lightning-fast LTE data on all our postpaid plans. That's right, no speed bumps, more data. It's like having a limitless highway of data speed at your fingertips. Whether you're a Lone Ranger with an individual plan or a squad rolling with a group plan, everyone gets to surf, stream, and share at enhanced full high-quality speed. Switch to Smart's powered-up postpaid plans today and ride the wave of postpaid power. Visit any Smart showroom or smart-bz.com for details and make your mobile experience smarter and faster. Smart, bringing people together.
I know I can't leave this plan. I can't leave this plan.
Over the past few weeks, we've been highlighting schools nationwide that exemplify the ethos of the Ministry of Education's MORE campaign. This week took us on a trip to Belize River Valley, where King's College has captured our attention. We discovered a testament to creativity and innovation. Students set out to demonstrate a solution that the world has been discussing, a doomsday event. An out-of-this-world alternative where civilization can exist. Is Mars habitable? Would we be able to produce food on this planet? These are just some of the questions for which we are still gathering scientific evidence to support the future likelihood of life beyond Earth. It takes in-depth research, and we never expected to get some answers from a class of students at King's College. Illustrating their ingenuity and forward-thinking mindset, let's just say their presentation was out of this world. Sabrina Daly tells us more.
On the Bright Side is brought to you by Ministry of Education, Culture, Science and Technology and UNICEF.
In the not-so-distant future, humanity had set its sights on the ultimate frontier, Mars.
Amid global discussions on the fate of our planet, there emerges a visionary solution, an otherworldly alternative where humanity could potentially thrive. Mars. Is Mars truly habitable? Can we sustainably produce food on its surface? These are just a few inquiries driving our quest for scientific understanding as we explore the prospect of life beyond Earth. Such endeavors demand extensive research, yet, unexpectedly, enlightening insights have emerged from an unlikely source. A group of students at King's College.
Good morning, Dr. Adil. How is he doing?
His vitals are stable for now, but we still haven't had any response from him. If he continues like this, we're gonna have to disconnect him. Ethio, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Where am I?
Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're finally awake.
What is this place?
You don't know? What's the last thing you remember?
Huh? Remember?
Ethio, you should get some rest before we can talk.
No, I need to see my family.
Ethel, stop! You can't just rush out. You will get hurt. Just stop.
No, let go.
Ethel, we are not on Earth. We are on Mars.
Basically, what the prompt was, how would we grow food on Mars? How can we make that a reality? And some research they did do, and it was very extensive because they had to learn about the food products, the energy source that they were going to do, how are they going to construct their greenhouse. And at the end, they decided to do a film to really engage other students and I would say viewers, because they didn't want to do a regular PowerPoint presentation. They really wanted to make something entertaining, and this is where the film was born.
Why did we come here? I don't understand.
Ethel, we are part of a core of King's College team assembled to help produce food for our Earth's population.
This initiative stemmed from Pathlight International. Recognizing it as a valuable opportunity for exposure, Pedro Reyes, principal of King's College, enthusiastically encouraged the students to take on the challenge.
I introduced it to my teachers and I said, well, can we do this? They said, definitely, let's give it a try. It would be a wonderful experience and exposure for our students to learn, you know. So the teachers pulled a team of students, and the process of the project is what was really time-consuming, dedication. You know, the students spent a lot of time putting effort and interest into this project.
Their sci-fi short film vividly portrays the futuristic take of a scientist awaking from a comatose state in outer space. Upon regaining consciousness, he is greeted by his colleagues, who share the many advancements made during his prolonged unconsciousness. The most profound revelation, they are now inhabitants of Mars. Ediel Reyes told us more.
It all came to the research. Each one of us had a certain part, and my part was about the structure of the greenhouse, you know, making it good so that no any contaminated oxygen or thing could affect us. And there were other parts that were talking about like how long it would take to reach from Earth to Mars. And that was basically a lot of information. Every evening we had to research a lot.
Me, I was having a hard time understanding what my colleagues were talking about. This information, the technology and all these stuffs there. Once you're waking up from a coma, you're lost, right? And you don't have understanding, you're lost, and it was a very hard time processing all of this.
My role comes after the doctor, so the doctor carries the coma boy to me, and my role is to show him where we have our vegetables, which was the lettuce, the corn, and we also had crickets there.
Yet, the question persists. Can humanity adapt to inhabiting a world so remarkably different from Earth as we know it? The glaring differences in environmental conditions raise doubts about the human body's resilience to such extremes. Nevertheless, it appears that the students have discovered an alternative.
They built this entire structure, we can say, underground. It's not actually on the surface of Mars. It's using lava tubes. With the research that we did, we actually found that there are gigantic lava tubes on Mars, and all these structures, these homes, these greenhouses were built underground.
I introduced the nuclear energy source and how its main function and for what we will use it for, which we will use it for the electricity, to use the water from the Mars, to get water from there,
and also for oxygen. Well, my research is that Mars is kind of challenging to grow food on the planet because the soil is very toxic, and it's about 4% of the soil that is very toxic to humans. So like basically we had to like put a greenhouse underground.
According to King's College, they did not imagine that the final product would have turned out so well. The students took full advantage of tech support by teaming up with a video production agency. And after 8 weeks of grueling research and practicing their lines, these young researchers turned actors have a final product to be proud of. According to Gwendolyn Correa, all they could want is that the students learn while working together.
Well, I have to say I'm immensely proud of them and their work because they showed that they could apply several skills, not only the research skills, which is very important, but they were also able to collaborate with each other and communicate effectively. Because you know, when communication doesn't exist, then some students might not be willing to do their part, but everyone in our group was able to have a week to be a leader, and all of them showed that they could be leaders and they could lead.
Looking on the bright side, I'm Sabrina Daly.
On the Bright Side was brought to you by Ministry of Education, Culture, Science and Technology, and UNICEF.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com on both our Facebook and YouTube. I'm Adeline Apollonia. From all of us here at News 5, have a happy and safe weekend. Good night.